Thanks for clicking on Wayne.com for another edition of Inside the Zone. Shane Albarani joining us, the voice of the Komets. And I imagine the voice a little bit hoarse, perhaps.
Actually, yeah, boy, Saturday night I was struggling a little bit going into the third period. So, yeah, it's getting the wear and tear on my voice. Also, I have a bad case of headphone hair at this point in the season.
Well,
but,
at least you have hair. Like, guys your age, our age, we are just happy to have it. It doesn't matter what it looks like. We're just happy to have it. Now, 4 games in 5 days. Things started off a little rocky. But then you salvaged the weekend with that overtime win in Toledo. Just looking at the week as a whole, what's your big takeaway from those 4 games in 5 days as we move forward?
Well, the team was, again, able to salvage Sunday, which was huge. I mean, that's just a huge confidence builder. The first part of the week didn't work out the way we wanted, but all 3 games that Komets lost were all by 1 goal again. So it's not like the team was getting blown out, just a couple of bounces here and there. It's probably a different story. So, but no, you get those points on Sunday, so you get a little bit of cushion. You get a 2-point cushion with Kalamazoo, but that means you got to win Wednesday against Kalamazoo. That's the showdown.
Well, this past Wednesday it was Kalamazoo here.
Yeah.
And, we talked, the one thing that we wanted to see in that Wednesday game, when you start off 4 or 5 games, you want to see a great first period. And we've talked about how important good starts are for the Komets. That was not a great start. You give up 2 goals in the first period, but you still make it a game.
Yeah,
2 goals in the first 4 minutes, 3 goals in the first period.
Yeah, unfortunately, Eric Levine, he got the start Wednesday, and he hadn't played in over a month, so he was knocking off some rust. And that the first goal that went in, it was deflected. I think it maybe hit 2 bodies and then went in. So, from there, it kind of went downhill there in that first period. But the team stormed back. I had a chance to tie it in the end, and wasn't able to. But it's the story of the whole season. Playing 60 minutes, that has been just the inconsistency has been so frustrating on this team. But it seems like we've played about 90 games this season because everything has been so close and so many games going to overtime. But we still have 7 left, and every one is going to be important.
On Friday, it's a loss to Cincinnati here. You guys have played Cincinnati tough all season. What was the key in that one? What did the team kind of learn against Cincinnati? Because that's a team that you could see probably not in the first round, but very likely if the Komets make it to the second round, that would be a matchup.
Oh, well, we got to get there first.
I'm not putting the cart in front of the horse.
You got to do that.
I'm a positive thinking. Take care of Toledo in the first round, probably Cincy in the second round. Yeah.
But again, if you fall down to that 4th spot, you're playing Cincy in the first round. And like I've said in previous shows, it doesn't matter who you're playing. Let's just get the invitation. So I know with Cincinnati, we've played them so many times, and they've had a consistent lineup. They've only used 27 players. The Komets have used 51. So we know what they're all about. Their lineup has been pretty much the same all season long. So no surprises there. So in a way, playing Cincinnati in that area as far as preparing for them actually would probably be a good thing because you know what you got. Where Toledo, they're kind of in the same boat we are. They've had a little revolving door. They brought in a lot of rookies themselves. Sunday night they were playing shorthanded, and it looked that way. So, from a preparation point, Cincinnati, the same lineup. They're a very good team, but we've played them tough all year. So I think Cincinnati, just speaking to some of their people, they don't want any part of Fort Wayne because they know that we play them tough. And in the playoffs, you get in those 1-goal games, it's anybody's business.
So last week didn't get off to a great start, but on Saturday things start to turn around. After 2 home losses, you go down to Indianapolis. You beat the Fuel in overtime, 3-2. What was the key in that in that game?
Well, dropping that game Saturday night was rough because Indy came in. They're playing desperate. They're in the back of the pack. They're still alive now. They'll get that big win against Cincinnati yesterday. So that's a 4-point weekend for them. So the team just again play 60 minutes, and that's what happened against Indy. Just 2 little letdowns, and it cost us two mistakes. Wound up into goals passes and turnovers right in front of our own net, and that was the difference in the game. So just consistency. That's the big takeaway for the weekend.
Still a 3-2 loss, but you do pick up the point with the overtime loss.
Yeah, you do. I mean, so you have to, you look on the bright side. You did get a point. You did manage to salvage that, but it's great you don't play 3-on-3s or shootouts in the playoffs. So, 5-on-5, we know straight up we can play with anybody in the league.
All right, and then on Sunday you show it. The weekend kind of shifts. You're out in Toledo, a tough place to play. You win 2-1. You've mentioned how that gives this team confidence going forward. Did you kind of get to, I don't know, got to refocus or maybe take a breath after the weekend and say, oh, you know what, that wasn't as bad as we thought. This win is key for us going forward.
Yeah, I think everybody exhaled a little
Yes.
bit after that game. Anthony Petrozelli getting the game winner in overtime. But the team got a breath of fresh air with our new goaltender, with Alex DeBow in the lineup. He played twice this weekend. Got his first pro start Saturday in Indianapolis, and he played so well. It gave him another start on Sunday, and he was equally as impressive. So, I think, again, it was just a breath of fresh air. You had a kid coming in there with a championship pedigree, and he was standing up. He was not intimidated, afraid of anything. He was taking everything that was thrown at him. So I think the team, a lot of times, if you have a really good goaltender, you can build off that momentum. If he makes a big save, it's going to pump the guys up, and it's, transitioning down the ice. So, it was great to see him, and he's a great goaltender, and expecting to see him a lot more down the stretch.
You mentioned the championship pedigree. Tell us a little bit more about the background of Alex DeBow, because here's a guy. He comes in, it's the home stretch of the season. He goes 1-0-1 in his 2 starts, giving up 1.93 goals a game, saving almost 95% of the shots that he faces. I mean, he really came in and he looked the part. He looked confident. Yeah. And the numbers really show it.
Yeah, 35 saves Saturday, 37 on Sunday. He's won a Memorial Cup championship in juniors. He has won 3 straight collegiate championships in Canada. He was the playoff MVP. So this guy knows how to win. When Zach Facalia comes back, these guys know each other too. They battled quite a bit up in the Quebec Major Junior League. So he's the real deal. He's a guy who knows how to win games, and like I just said, he not afraid at all. Boy, he got right in there and he took every shot, and he stood up to 2 really good teams, 2 teams that know how to score. So it was great to see him.
I'm going to put you on the spot. This is 3 rookies signed. We'll talk about the other guys here in a second. But with Alex, where does he rank in terms of ready players that they've signed that are rookies at this point in the season, maybe in the last decade or so?
That's a good question. He's definitely up there. But again, 2 games don't make a career, but pretty impressive start. But yeah, to get a guy like that with that many games under his belt, making his pro debut, is just terrific. And I'm sure he had plenty of offers, but he found his way to Fort Wayne.
When you take a look at the forwards, you got Anthony Nellis, am I pronouncing that correctly? And then Gage Torrell. Some unfortunate news with Gage. Tell us a little bit about that,
yeah.
and then what you expect to see out of Anthony too.
Those are 2 guys who played at Lake Superior State together. They were on the same line, and the Komets put them on the same line as well, and they looked like they had played together for quite a while. But Gage unfortunately injured Saturday night. Not sure if he's going to come back, but no, Anthony Nellis. It looks again very impressive. Playing at a very good hockey school at Lake Superior State. Those guys are primed and ready to turn pro, and they've looked the part. And it's great to see. You can tell the guys who've only played 30, 40 games, the guys who've played 60 games. Those guys come in there, they got some fresh legs, and both of them look like they had a step on everybody over the past 2 games.
Now, you look at the schedule this week, and you think it's kind of a breather, but not so much.
No.
You got 3 games in 4 days, starting Wednesday night against Kalamazoo. What's the approach this week? Gary, I'm imagining they're getting Monday off, and I'm imagining Tuesday is going to be a lighter workout based on the workload that they've had the previous few weeks and what they've got this coming week. So what can you really focus on as a coaching staff and as a team to get ready for this week?
I think they're looking to get some bodies back in the lineup, hoping that guys are able to go, because at this point of the season, a lot of nagging injuries. Felix Martineau has missed 2 games. J.C. Campagno went out, didn't play Saturday. Kevin Gibson didn't play Saturday. And you still have Chase Stewart and Cody Soul, Trey Phillips. They're still on the shelf. So I think really getting everybody healthy right now at this point. We need bodies back there. Poor Jamie Shaftsman, he's had to play D for about the past 3 weeks, and it's just been a pure, necessity. Taking care of everybody's, the bodies right now are starting to break down. So I think the focus is going to be trying to get some health back at the blue line.
Wednesday, it's Kalamazoo, and this is a game where you look at the standings. This could be a big game. You got 7 games left. These two teams only separated by 2 points in the standings. The Komets with 74, the Kalamazoo Wings with 72. How big of a game is this? I know it's down the stretch, and I know you want to be in third rather than fourth, but what is the focus for Wednesday night when you take on Kalamazoo? How important of a game is this for the Komets?
Oh, well, every game right now is huge, but you're right. It's Kalamazoo. It's the last game you have with them. You got no more games at hand. We can't play that card anymore, so it's head to head on Wednesday night. But get off to a good start, of course. Let's get the first goal and try to slow them down. They are a very, very fast team, and I think the biggest thing about Kalamazoo is how quickly they transition from offense to defense. I'm not sure how you defend that, but I think if you just cut down on the turnovers, especially in the neutral zone, because a lot of their goals are scored just in that transition game, right? Just from blue line to goal line. So cutting down on the turnovers, I think Wednesday night is going to be the big key.
And then this weekend, on Friday, you're at Wheeling, and then back home on Saturday night against Kansas City, a team that you don't see that frequently. What are the keys in the weekend games?
Wheeling is going to be a team that's playing desperate now. They lost a game this weekend, so they're now back of Indy. So they're going to be it's pure desperation. They've got nothing to lose. So it's how to defend off that team who has nothing to lose. Next week, if you look at ahead, you got Indy twice. You got a home at home. So, nothing is in the bag, so you can't take anything for granted. And then Kansas City, a team you haven't played, but they've been on a little bit of a slide. So, preparation for them is going to be interesting because we have to go through the division, everybody with the exception of Toledo over the next 2 weeks. So, they play a little different style of game in that division. So, there'll be other challenges there, but we have to take care of business with the teams in the division.
7 games left in the regular season. Is it hard at this point for the team to keep their focus on these 7 games and not look forward to the playoffs, or is it kind of more of a balancing act of you have to place importance on both of these?
No, you got to just win the game ahead of you.
Oh, okay.
You're not in the playoffs yet. Nothing. If you look at the standings, there's no X by the Komets, so it means they're not in the playoffs. So no, it's win Wednesday, it's win Friday, it's take care of business on Saturday.
There's an XY by Chicago and an X or Cincinnati, and an X by Toledo. So they're in, and the division champion has already been crowned.
Yeah.
But a lot left to play for the Komets.
Yes. There is going to be a lot on the line.
All right. We'll wrap it all up next week after 3 games this week. But for this week's show, he's Shane, I'm Glenn, and we'll see you on Monday.